Greetings to everybody who's joined this session. And yes, Paul is right. My email ID is there, and there is a website I have posted. And if there's anything that you want to be done in India, then I'm your go-to person. Right from just about anything, places to visit, history, culture, you want to be on radio, you want to be on TV, you want to buy a property, you want to do your taxes, just about anything, right? So I want to share with you how to build great networks. So that is the whole session about, and also how we enroll people into big visions. Now, before that, I have a personal story to tell. A month ago, I moved out of my dad's house, and I started living by myself. Yes, in India, we move out pretty late. I'm in my 30s, but yeah. And for the first time, I had to set up everything from scratch. And I have a beautiful apartment. I don't know if you can see. Well, every single thing was sourced from my networks, right? I spent a fraction of money to set this place up. And I asked for things, and it was given to me. So I wonder if we could get our participants on the screen, if there is a way to get, so I can see some of you guys. Paul, is that possible? Okay, all right. Okay, I do see some of you. Great. I'll give it a couple of seconds. Okay. Great. Hi, Helen, Peter, Margot. Thank you for joining. All right, so I have a question. Okay, I can hear myself back. Is there a way I could? Okay, it's fine now. Okay. Question: how do we build a network? What are your thoughts about building a network in whichever country you live, whatever profession you're doing? And then I'll, of course, share my thoughts about leveraging the network. But any thoughts about it, please put that on chat. Yeah. Okay, here we go. Be interested in others, know what you want from the network, openly share collective goals and investment. Absolutely. Okay. Learn about others. Absolutely. So one of the ways that has worked for me personally is by giving, right? Every time I've asked for a favor, I've returned 2 favors before I ask for the next one, right? By being generous, by sharing, and not really having an agenda while building a network. So in a couple of moments, we're going to be doing an activity, right? But before that, how many of you have a purpose in life? Like, you know what your purpose is, and that's what you wake up each day and say, yes, this is my purpose. Okay, Cynthia has one. Almost there, Miguel says, right? I recently attended a workshop a year ago, and I figured my purpose, and I want to tell you my purpose, right? My purpose in life is to create a world in which people are in deep harmony within themselves, thereby radiating love, light, and oneness. And from the day I figured my purpose, life has been really, really wonderful and magical for me, right? And I take this purpose to my network, and this is really the background of the work that I do as well. So what we're going to do now is, in a couple of moments, we'll go back to the floor where we have these little coffee tables. And I'd like all of you all to scan your network, right? Each of you are going to make a request to a partner. We'll be 3 in a group. We're going to make a request about something, an information that you've been wanting to know, a connection you want to make, a negotiation you want to get into, or anything that's on your mind, or an idea that you've been brainstorming and you're close to it and you want some more inputs, a problem that you're wanting to solve. And you're going to share with your partners on the table. And your other 2 partners are going to scan their network and see if they can make you a connection, right? But if you really do want to do something in India, then you could send me a message too, and I can really help you set up whatever you want to be done here, right? We'll come back and we will just take a look at what really happened, if somebody could help you, if they didn't help you, and we'll get to the next part of it. Is that clear? Yeah, do you have a request? Think about it. Take a couple of seconds. Don't worry about what kind of a request it is. The more audacious it is, the better. It doesn't make sense, it's absolutely okay. Right? Okay, we have about 6 minutes for this, and we'll come back in 6 minutes. Are we all back? Okay, there is a saying in India, asking is courageous and giving is humbling, right? So for all of you who made a request, a big round of applause. It takes more courage to ask for something than giving something, right? So I want to see if we can get all of you back up on this stage. And I want to hear from a couple of you, how did that go? Did you ask? Did you receive? What are you feeling and thinking at this moment? Hey, James. Okay. If anybody would like to share their experience, please do.
For example, on my side, I receive the request, and I wanted to help. It means like I'm trying to really understand, and I'm trying to find how can I help, and I'm feeling guilty if I cannot find like solution. And really when I said, okay, I don't know really person, but after that we see another way, another option where I can help with perhaps with my company, and perhaps we will see that after we will exchange like information for that. But at the beginning I said no, I don't have nothing, and after I said no, yes, if I think a little bit more, I can find a way to help.
Okay, wonderful. Who else? Peter, I know you made a request. Sorry, James, give me a moment because I just dropped into the little table that you were having a discussion. I could help you too with your facilitation gigs. Yeah, I've been facilitating for 17 years in India and across the world. So yes, we could work together. I could find something to do. Okay, I don't know if Peter was able to hear that. James, you were saying something.
Yes, I was in a group where Margaret asked me if I knew any good books on on improvisation. so that one could use it when creating user interfaces for products or services within government. And I really don't know which books that should be. So first thing I thought was, I probably know someone on Facebook who knows, but I didn't exactly know who, because I've read some improv books, but I don't know who's kind of would fit in that. But then Luana turned up, and I know that she's made documentary on improv, and she knows many people because she's interviewed so many people. So I knew that she would know.
Okay.
And she probably will be able to give the answer.
Wonderful. Was it helpful, Margot?
Yeah, it was very
Of course it was.
great to see how people really try to help you. You know, they really go out of their way to help you. So that was really great. So thank you.
Guys, if you can hear me and see me, just give me a thumbs up or just let me know. Okay, so I'm just going to turn my camera off because I think there's an internet issue here. Sorry, we still have internet problems in India. Okay, so I just quickly want to tell you about the 3 different kinds of networks you can start mapping. One, the first one's called the operational network. And the purpose of an operational network is for you to perform effectively in your current job role. So in this network, you know, having people from your profession, from your skill, from your competency, and to really know at the back of your mind, okay, these are the go-to people if I need professional help. You can have one network mapping on for that. The second one is what I call the personal network. And personal network is really not for me to ask for personal favors, but it is really to enhance my personal and professional development as a person. Now, I have a couple of personal mentors, and I have a spiritual mentor as well. And this is the go-to person for me when I have big questions about life. I have life issues where I don't know what to do. This is the person where I go and I know I won't be judged, and there are no assumptions. I can be who I am. I don't have to wear a mask. I don't have to pretend, and I don't have to lie. So you need to have 2 or 3 people in your life who you are completely transparent with. I mean, I would suggest be transparent with everybody, but I know there are situations in life when we need to have those 1 or 2 people who we can bear out and show them our deepest selves. So that's your personal network. And then finally, the third one is called the strategic network. Strategic network are the set of peoples where your long-term aspirations can be given more life and visibility to. Right? These are people who you know that you may not have immediate work with, but they are good to know, they're good to interact with, they're good to keep in touch with. So in India, 4 years ago, I used to run a radio show on the national network of India. It's called All India Radio. And for 4 years, I produced a program called Bangalore Brains, interviewing startup entrepreneurs from the city. And while I was doing that job, they hardly paid me anything, but it's just the thrill of being a radio jockey and meeting people. And it was really my passion to interview people. I did that, and I had to stay up many nights to, you know, produce the final recording, put it on SoundCloud, send the invitations, and make their payments and all of that. And the Indian government, the radio station does not have staff who does that. So if you are a radio jockey, you do all of that end to end. And I used to drive home all the way to the studio and go back home by midnight. And the money they gave me wasn't enough even for me to, you know, for my fuel and food and things like that. But I just did it. I was passionate. 4 years later, today I'm leveraging my network, right? I have started a real estate agency in Bangalore. I am selling premium properties, and I'm doing digital marketing. Now, because of the pandemic, 1 year there was a downtime for every business in India. And the first people who want to spend money to get their business up and running were the startups. And guess who I leveraged? The 186 interviews that I had conducted with these guys. I went back to them and I said, hey, I'm joining your bandwagon. I'm being an entrepreneur, right? I'm doing this. Can we find an opportunity to work? And it's been 2 months and I have 6 clients, right? So sometimes the things that we do, the little jobs, the hustles that we have, other than the main job, pay attention to it, right? We need not leverage everybody and everything at that particular moment, but just be aware when you do something, do it from your being, do it because you're passionate, allow people to know you and remember you for who you are, not just your profession and your titles, right? Give them a little glimpse of, the being in you, what your passion is, what makes you happy, what makes you angry, what makes you sad. So when people are able to see a human angle, the way they remember you is much better. So that's an anchoring technique, right? When people can connect to you as a person, then they remember you much better. So the do nots, right? The do nots, when you network with people, some things that you should never do is don't ask for a job, right? You can partner with them. You can say we can work together, but then your first request should be, find me a job, right? Usually people find that extremely, they feel that if they can't help you, like for example, one of you was saying that if I was not, I think it was Haifa. Haifa was saying because I'm not able to help, I feel a bit guilty, right? So when we go to a network with very big requests, they may start feeling guilty, and then they may actually, go back into a shell. Also, the easiest way for you to leverage your network is by introducing 2 people can work together. So you don't have to be the first one to gain out of your network, but if you can actually connect 2 people that who need help and they need to come together, and you can be that person, that guy who knows the other guy, that's another great way of helping people remember who you are. Right? So I always say be the guy who knows the guy. Also, leveraging social media is another thing that you could do. In my 9 years of freelancing as a facilitator, every workshop and session that I have gotten to work is through reference. Right? Very few agents I work with, but usually it's come from word of mouth and things like that. Right? And yeah, that's just about networking. But now I want to talk to you about something different, enrolling people into your vision. Like if you have a big audacious goal and you want people to hear you and to be a part of your vision, how do you make that request, right? How many of you, have all of you gone through some kind of rejection? Like you asked for something and people said, no. Right? I'm sure we all asked out somebody when we were dating and then we heard our first no's. Right? So very quickly, I want to check with you, how do you feel when you hear a no? How does it make you feel? Very bad, isn't it? Yeah. Yeah. A lot of us take it personally. Am I not good enough? You said no to me? A no is a doubt on my ability and my skill to do this job for you, right? How could you say no to me, right? So when we, start having visions, big visions for our, and big goals for our life, one of the things that's always at the back of our mind is, oh my God, what if I hear a no, right? It takes us back to a core belief, a deep belief about who I am. And in moments when we have lows in our life, our core beliefs just go up, right? Every time I hear a no, I always go back to my core belief that, oh my God, look, here I am a lone ranger. I am lonely. Nobody loves me. I'm not wanted, right? And for years, I struggled with it, and I figured out a no is just no. It's absolutely okay, right? While one part of the story is that we don't like to hear a no, a lot of us don't know to say no as well, right? Especially people back in India. You ask them anything, and if they say, I will try, just run. They're not going to do it for you, right? Make sure you get them to say, yes, I will do it for you. Or I am sorry, I'm not going to do this for you. So Indians have a very bad habit of saying, I'll try my best and I'll see what I can do for you. And I wish I could do this for you, because we are so afraid of hurting somebody with our nose, right? And that's the reason a lot of us end up, working the weekends and like staying back late in the office and not having a great work-life balance, right? Stress and things like that. Right? But people are slowly learning. So I'm going to take you through to something called an enrollment exercise. How do you enroll people into your vision? Right? And the first thing is, do you have a vision? Like, obviously I asked you, do you have a purpose? And some of you said yes, right? So there's a story. There was a wise old man. He was traveling across the countryside, and he sees, he reaches a small village, and he just wants to rest because he's been traveling for so long. He sees 3 people on the other side of the road, and they're breaking stones. He goes to the first person, a lady in her late 50s, and he says, "What are you doing?" And she just looks at him and says, "What do you think I'm doing? It's so hot. I'm breaking stones. This is my job. I do this every day." He says, "Okay." And then he moves ahead. There's a small, a boy, like teenager. He's breaking stones too. And he asks her, what are you doing? And he says, "Oh, can't you see? I'm really, I'm so strong and I can break as many stones as I can. And I'm breaking stones." He's like, "Okay." And then he moves to an older lady. She's in her 80s, 90s, and she's breaking stones too. And he says, "What are you doing?" And she says, "I'm building a cathedral, a temple. Every stone that I break here is going to be part of the temple." So having a big picture is, number one, going to help you enroll people into your vision. Like, if you know what you're going to do, what is going to be the impact, then you have people who will go along with you. But if you look at work as just like small bits of what you do, and if there is no big picture, then it's difficult to enroll people. So the enrollment exercise, like, you're going to do something slightly out of the box now in a bit. So I'm going to tell you the steps of enrollment. Step one is declare an intention to the universe about what you want, right? Completely believe that you've received it. And personally, I want to share with you every single thing that I've ever asked the universe to give me, I have received it. I have. And that's why I say it so confidently. So one is declare an intention to the universe, right? The second step is make an unreasonable request. Now, when I say make an unreasonable request, ask for what you want without being emotionally attached to the outcome. Right? A lot of us don't ask because we are emotionally attached to the outcome. We just don't want to hear a no, right? And we ask for something, there is an unsaid emotional blackmail. So, you know what, I really need this gig. I really, without this, I have 3 little kids. And I don't know what I'm going to be doing. Pandemic has been so hard on me. And I really need your help. Can you help me? So if you're going to make a request like that, you're going to really scare away the giver, right? You need to make a request without any attachment to the outcome and no emotional threats, right? And step 3 is you have to establish a relatedness, right? You have to drop all the complexes, either I feel inferior to someone, I feel, superior to someone. I have to come to the same page. I have to connect with the other person at a deeper level, to his or her conscience, to his or her being, right? And then the most important step in this is make sure you provide the person an equal opportunity to say yes or no. Right? In your request, the other person should feel like, yeah, I have an opportunity to say yes or no. It just depends on whether I can help you or not. So you'll go from a very, very powerful space. Knowing that you declare to the universe with no emotional threats or any desire for the outcome. The third step is to establish the relatedness, to drop all the complexes of being inferior or superior. And step 4 is to make sure that the person has an equal opportunity to say yes or no. Right? So I want you to think of a request that you've hesitated or felt awkward to ask people. Think about it just for a couple of seconds. And when you're ready with your request, if you've written the 4 steps down, just look at it. If you know what if you have a request in mind, raise your hand. Not yet, thinking about it. Okay. Okay, James has a request. Fair enough. So I made a request for somebody to fund me for a course that I wanted to do in Netherlands when I was doing this, and I was hesitant to ask. And I got 80% of the funding. It's possible. But the point is also for you to start getting comfortable with people saying no to your request. A no is a no, it's fine. Right? Then you move on to the next part of your network, right? You've scanned your network and you know who you could make that request to because you know the person is capable of helping you. Right? Enrolling people into your vision. Okay? So I want to ask all of you to take 5 minutes. You can either go on mute or you could go to, I think we'll all stay in here. If you want to be on camera, that's okay. Pick up your phone and make that one phone call. It need not always be a financial favor or a recommendation. It could also be something personal. Okay, you have 5 minutes, take your time. But certainly give it a try. Time's up, but I want to give James the time to finish his call. Okay, in the meanwhile, if everybody could come back on the stage. I know James has the poker face. Oh, this is exciting. I can see Crystal on her phone too. Did you try calling as well? Hi. You did?
I didn't call. I am emailing, so I don't know if that's a cop-out. I know that time-wise, it's really early for the person I've contacted.
Okay. Sure. Okay. Anybody else who tried to call? Okay. So
Not at all, but send a message as well.
You sent a message? Okay. Okay.
Like for me, I take the phone, but he doesn't answer. But I take the phone. I did it.
You did. Okay, that's the first step, to make a request, to be uninhibited by it, no hesitation, knowing that by partnering with you, they're also part of creating something amazing. Right? By partnering with you, like putting ourselves in that different paradigm, like raising our vibrations, right? Bringing in that positivity and knowing that my dreams and my goals mean something to this world. Okay, I think James cracking a deal. It looks like. Okay, whilst on the call, I have just 1 minute left and I want to do a small exercise in whichever part of the world you are. It was so powerful for me. So if I may request you to please stand wherever you are and put your right hand out and point your forefinger. Point your finger, yeah, right hand out, point your finger. And then I want you to turn around without bending your knees or your, just like shifting your feet. Turn around and go as far as you can. Go as far as you can towards your right and mark that space where your finger points the furthest. Just mark that space visually. Look at that. Yeah. Margot, you need to be seeing where your finger's pointing, that space, right? The furthest you've gone, mark that space. Okay, and then come back. Come back. I want you to close your eyes for a moment. Take a deep breath. Take another one. Inhale and exhale. And I want you to visualize you breaking that point. It was the furthest you thought you could go. And in your mind now, you're visualizing yourself breaking that point. Okay, when you're ready, open your eyes and let's try doing that again. Okay, go. Woo. Okay. Wow, how many of you went way further? Yay! Yes, way further. Right? It's just the power of human intentions and the power of visioning is so powerful. We just limit it, saying this is all I can do, or this is too much, and that's that. But then if you could see yourself breaking that barrier at least by 50% more, 50% more, right? So that's all I have for you. This is something that you need to believe in. You need to try. And I'm here for you to connect for anything that you may want in India and whatever else. I'm connected to people across the world, and I'll be more than happy to help you in enabling your dreams that you have. Thank you so much. James, how did it go? Sorry, what was the call about?
No, because I'm working at a medical clinic, and I actually have a little part responsibility for getting a hold of doctors and stuff. And actually, it's in a way isn't my job, but it is my job. It's a little bit complicated, but I kind of haven't wanted to do it because I think it's uncomfortable to call people because I'm not medical educated myself. So I kind of sometimes think it's uncomfortable talking with doctors and stuff. But so I just decided on calling someone. Yeah, she wasn't available, but she promised to check up some things if she was available, and we kind of agreed upon maybe a couple of days where she could work. So it was like a halfway no, halfway yes. And I also said that if you know of someone who could maybe work, just tell me.
Wow.
So,
okay. How does it make you feel? Just to go on.
well, I'm very happy because I've been postponing it actually. It's like 5-6 months. So
Fabulous. More power to you, James. Okay, so I'll meet you at the coffee table if you want to hang out with me. You're more than welcome. Thank you again and have a beautiful day. Thank you.